Well, here we are. Just wanted to shoot a video for you folks. I want you to know what we've been through here these last few days. Okay, feels like we've been out here for days, but here's Derek in the water. We are stuck. I am drenched. This is Florida living for you. So if you want to get a house out here, just know what you're getting yourself into. Loxahatchee life.
I'm Derek, this is Chris, and this is another episode of the Real Estate Rundown.
What's going on, guys?
So in an effort to help folks, a lot of folks that live in Florida really I don't feel like they've ever really seen actual Florida before. Like they're used to just seeing like these cookie cutter neighborhoods.
Especially South Florida.
Exactly. Disney World or, City Place downtown. They don't really get a clear idea of what natural Florida actually looks like. So in an effort to get some good footage to show you guys what true Florida looks like, Chris and I...
It was an effort. It was an effort. I want y'all to know this. All right, I'm going to share some footage with y'all.
Oh, yeah. So, everybody, Chris knows, but if you guys don't know already, I am a Florida native, and I guess you'd say like I'm intertwined in Florida culture, as you could say, because I grew up here. So I am the proud owner of a swamp buggy. Now, what a swamp buggy is it's basically a truck that's had the body taken off. You weld a deck to it, and you put big tractor tires on it. Now, what that does is it helps you go out, because every natural Florida, it's not like everywhere else around here. Natural Florida has about, I would say, anywhere with like 6 to 3 foot of standing water.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to effectively get out in the woods and do some hunting, or just to get out there in Florida, an effective way of doing that is to have a swamp buggy. So we went out on my swamp buggy to get some footage of J.W. Corbett. And J.W. Corbett is a local, you would call it, it's a WMA, which is called a Wildlife Management Area. It's different from a natural area. Natural area, people aren't allowed to go in there. It's just fenced off, and it's supposed to be natural, no people. So a WMA is a wildlife management area, and it's an area that the Florida Wildlife Commission allows people to go in. There's various activities you can do in there. One of them is hunting. You could also go fishing in there. There's hiking. There's bird trails. You can camp in there as well. It's got some great campsites. But if you are gonna go camping or hiking or bird watching, be sure to bring some bug repellent, because we've got some big skeeters down here. And
they will get you, that's for sure.
In South Florida. Now, the little bit of history about J.W. Corbett, it's about 60,300 and change something acres. And FWC, well, it used to be the Game and Fish Commission, which was the predecessor to Florida Wildlife Commission. Now, back in the 60s, they purchased about 50,223 acres from Southern States Timber Company, and they named it after one of a former commissioner. His name was, I believe, James Wiles Corbett or something like that. So, hence the name J.W. Corbett. And since then, they started to what they call, there's a couple of projects they did, because when it was owned by the timber company, they had dug some canals and got a lot of the water to drain out of there so they can grow timber, and they also farmed cattle in there. Well, after Florida Wildlife Commission purchased the land, they wanted to kind of bring it back to its natural state, so they closed off those canals and kind of allowed the water to kind of come back in and come back to its natural state. And one of the cool things is, if you're out there roaming around, you can actually see, and I've seen them a couple times myself, the old fence posts where they used to keep their cattle inside. And but you'll probably wonder why it's 3 feet underwater. How did they keep cows there? That's because back when the timber company owned it, it wasn't flooded like that. They used to drain all the water, so it was flat grassland. So the cattle was able to stay there. They weren't swimming. So, but So Chris and I went out there to get some footage, and we had a pretty smooth day for most of the day.
Yeah, so we're shooting some guns.
Yeah, that's right.
Going on there, getting some nice footage.
Yeah.
And then, Derek, he's an adventurer. I'm from New York. That's why I'm a city boy. He's the one that lives out in the woods. He's the country boy here. He decided to have some fun.
Oh yeah. Now, have you ever found yourself? You have the thought right before where you say in your head, I probably shouldn't do this, but some reason or another, you're just like, no, I'm gonna do it anyways.
If you would have asked that out loud, I probably said, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I want to go home to my wife today. But he did it. He did it anyway.
I'm not sure how many of you guys are swamp buggy drivers, but just a little swamp buggy. If you're ever looking to get into swamp buggying, just a little tip. So there are these things called flag ponds out there, and that's where there's a lot of standing water. Now there's some real thin needle grass out there. If you drive the swamp buggy around that really thin needle grass, it's a good spot to drive because it's normally it's a sandy bottom. So when the water's on top of the sand, it keeps it nice and compacted, and it gives your buggy can roll over it pretty smooth. Now there's some other areas that have where you actually start noticing towards like the sides of the flag pond or maybe towards the center, this needle grass will start getting thicker and greener. Now I guess the scientific thing behind that is that it's thicker and greener because it's got more nutrients. So that's where the black mud is. And if you get into that black mud, you're going to get sucked in.
You ain't getting out.
And that's what happened to us. I mean, we were stuck. I'm talking about water up over the engine of the swamp buggy.
How tall is the swamp buggy? So y'all understand how deep the water is. I mean, the swamp buggy, the tires itself are probably taller than I am. So
when I got down in where the buggy was stuck, it was probably, the water was about chest deep where we were at. So the water was chest deep. We were in there, yeah.
The problem was that you dug probably another 2 feet with just the tires.
Yeah, because, with the swamp buggy, with the tractor tires, it's got big paddles on it. And instead of, it just basically digs a hole into that mud. So we got severely stuck. And I thought we were just going to be out there for the rest of our lives.
Listen, I'm just glad we had phone service. So Derek, he decides to jump into this water. Decides to go find some help. I try to call JW Corbett, the front office, and just let you know they will not help you. They basically said you need to call the cops. Or who else told me to call the FWC. The
Florida Wildlife Commission.
There we go, Florida Wildlife Commission. See if they have some rangers that can come help you. But the people at the front office of JW Corbett will not help you at all. They're just like, you're either gonna call a tow truck, or you're gonna have to call the cops, or someone else. And they basically just left us out there to die. Okay, maybe not that serious. But I don't know what's making me. You were out there for an hour.
Yeah.
Finally got some help.
Well, the funny thing is what I knew I had to do was kind of get back to the main road. So we weren't close to a main road. So I had to get out, basically, wade through the water, walk through a bunch of palmetto bushes. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with what palmetto bushes are, they're bushes that just have a bunch of palm fronds. And when you're standing on the ground level with palmetto bushes, they're normally as tall as you are, so you can't see over. So I had to walk through all that stuff, walk through about another 2 bodies of water to get out to the main road. So there I am, walking in sloshy cowboy boots all the way back to the car, trying to wait for somebody. Now, the day we went out there was a Wednesday, so as you can probably imagine,
the grounds were empty.
There wasn't that many people out there. So I stood there for probably an hour and a half. I didn't see one person. But thank the Lord, I was able to call a man from my church who also runs swamp buggies. And perfect timing, but he was able to shoot out there, and that's a whole nother long drawn out story. But Mr. Bob came to our rescue, and he saved the day. He got us out of there.
Rescue.
Yeah.
But the worst part of it though was he has an electric pulley cable,
a winch, yeah, a winch.
Electric winch, and has to weigh at least 50, 60, 70. I don't know.
Oh, it's more than that. It's about 150 pounds.
Okay, 150 pounds. We literally had to take this thing off so we could bring it to Bob, so we could try to connect it to the front of the buggy to get out.
And it was a couple hundred feet.
Maybe like 1,000
through like waist deep water.
Through waist deep water, sinking mud, and then on top of that, we can't let this 150-pound wrench hit the water. Also, it's gonna mess up the electrical system on it. I'm gonna tell you, we had some fun out there.
Oh, and then turns out the person I got the winch from wired it backwards.
Oh, wired it backwards.
So we about burned our fingers off.
And almost blew up Bob's Jeep.
We almost set Bob's Jeep on fire. Oh my gosh. So if you're ever wiring anything, red is always positive and black is negative when you're talking about like vehicle power. So the person I got the winch from, they had it wired backwards, and it was bad.
So we hooked it up correctly, but the wires weren't correct, so everything was getting hot.
Yeah, the chain, it was like when you touched it to your skin, so it was bad. But we got it figured out, and we got that old buggy out of there.
We'll put some videos up there. We don't have too many from us walking through the water just to save our phones, but we'll put the videos up there. But I mean, the purpose of this video is to show that South Florida isn't just communities and this. Because South Florida is probably different from the rest of Florida. When people think South Florida or Florida in general, especially people who are not Floridians, they think Central Florida, right? They think Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld. They think Miami, right? They think South Florida. The first thing that comes to, oh, Miami, you guys are from Miami. No, Florida's so much more than that, and there's a lot to do, right? Yeah, we got the resorts and the amusement parks, but also just the natural environment, the natural life of Florida. Brings a lot of people down here, and a lot of people don't know about it. And
what a lot of people don't know too is that the entire state of Florida used to be mostly flooded, but back in the 20s they started to dig canals and channel the water out to the ocean. So hence that's why we have all this land that's readily available. But that's not the way Florida used to be, and I'm convinced if we keep building on it, it's going to sink back into the ocean. But that's just my theory.
Maybe. Miami's going to go first, though.
Yeah.
That won't be too bad. Anyway. I don't like Miami. If you're going to move to Florida, you got to move to South Florida, come to Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County is where it's at, all right? You get the best of both worlds.
Or if you're coming out here on vacation, avoid Miami at all costs. Let's save you the gas and the time. Don't go to Miami. It's just not. You don't want to go down there.
Awesome. You got any other words for our folks out there?
No. Just I mean, if you wanna see some of our footage, just stay till the end of this video so you can check out some cool stories, bro.
Amen.
Because that's what it is right now. It's a cool story.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Thanks.
Until next time.
Thanks for watching.
All right, here we are out in JW Corbett. Got Derek Neff, the property hunter.
Yes, sir.
We got the swamp buggy behind us. Gonna show you some of Florida's nature here.